Day 2 of protests, day 1 of senators' questions.
No one is above the law in our constitutional system.
As the Supreme Court nominee faces his confirmation hearing.
And today was the first time senators on the Judiciary Committee got to ask tough questions of the president's second nominee to the Supreme Court. And their questions were met with his promises to be independent, fair, and only focused on the law.
You're correct. No one is above the law in our constitutional system.
Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh pledged to be independent from President Trump on the second day of his nomination hearing.
What sort of loyalty will you owe to the president?
Senator, if confirmed to the Supreme Court and as a sitting judge, I owe my loyalty to the Constitution.
Senate lawmakers pressed the 53-year-old conservative on executive power.
Can a sitting president be required to respond to a subpoena?
I can't give you an answer on that hypothetical question.
Democrat Dick Durbin challenged Kavanaugh to stop the proceedings until all documents from his time with President George W. Bush's administration are released.
Why won't you do that?
Senator, I do not believe that's consistent with what prior nominees have done who've been in this circumstance.
Lawmakers on both sides each got 30 minutes to question Kavanaugh on issues like gun rights and abortion.
Can you sit down with you and 4 other judges and overrule Roe v. Wade just because you want to?
Senator, Roe v. Wade's an important precedent of the Supreme Court.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham addressed the presence of Fred Guttenberg in the gallery. Kavanaugh turned his back on Guttenberg when the father of Parkland shooting victim Jamie Guttenberg went to shake his hand yesterday.
And I want to give you a chance to say some things to the people who have attended this hearing. I think there's a father of a Parkland student who was killed. I think there's a mother of a child who has got terrible health care problems, and there are many other people here with personal situations. What would you like to say to them?
Well, Senator, I understand the real-world effects of our decisions. In my job as a judge for the last 12 years, I've gone out of my way in my opinions and at oral arguments, if you listen to oral arguments, to make clear to everyone before me that I understand the situation, the circumstances, the facts.
Kavanaugh went on to reassure the American public he bases his decisions on the facts and that he does not live in a bubble. But he did not address any of the people referenced or the handshake that never happened. Protesters repeatedly interrupted the hearing, but Kavanaugh pressed on.
One of the reasons people have objected to your nomination is, I believe the quote was, you have Republican blood flowing in your veins.
If confirmed, Kavanaugh would replace retired Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy.
Senate Democrats also pressed Kavanaugh on hacked emails, which he denied knowing about. We are streaming his confirmation hearing on our CBS Miami website and also our Facebook page.